If you have not seen the full video of the incident in the park, we suggest you watch part 1 of this two-part update. Police were called and the Larimer County Sheriff's Office is investigating. The video quickly went viral, racking up over 100,000 views across the U.S. and even Europe, once again putting Loveland in the news for all the wrong reasons. Just 3 days later, on April 1st, the Loveland City Council held its regular meeting. The chambers and hallways were packed with outraged citizens. During the meeting, Councilor Black gave a statement doubling down on her actions. Here's that clip.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening, Loveland. I acknowledge that some people may find my actions as offensive. I find targeting, harassing, and stalking of women to be offensive. When people hide behind anonymity to harass women, that is offensive and extremely dangerous. My methods for protecting myself and others are assertive because threats and harassment have escalated in the city of Loveland, and it's extremely unsafe. I will not stop trying to protect the women in Loveland who have been targeted, are being targeted, and threatened and stalked, whether by masked men in parks, by agitators at council meetings, or behind their keyboards. My hope is that the city will follow up with the many complaints made against Dylan Kaiser over the last 3 months. I commit to fulfilling my term. Thank you all.
Afterward, the council voted overwhelmingly to censure her. Everyone voted in favor except Mayor Marsh, who defended her friend's behavior. Following that meeting, several residents contacted the city clerk to learn about the recall process. They connected through social media and launched a coordinated effort to recall Erin Black. The recall process takes time due to legal steps required by city and state law. The official launch is expected around May 1st. Meanwhile, on April 15th, the City Council met again. Councilor Black addressed the council and citizens once more. Here's her latest statement. We've only trimmed a brief procedural exchange for clarity, but her full 3-minute comment is included.
Oh, sorry, I'm seeing nods of approval, so go ahead.
And thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Council. Good evening, Loveland residents. This recall effort began the day after I was elected in 2023 and is nothing more than another politically motivated smear campaign by a small conservative disgruntled group calling themselves Rule, who created a battle plan to take me and other councilors out by any means necessary, essentially overturning the will of the voters. The incident at the park is being taken out of context and exaggerated for political gain. It's a tactic, not the truth. And let's be clear, this is not about my performance or commitment to the people of Loveland. There is no pattern of conduct. It's about my conduct always being held to a higher standard than any of my fellow male counselors who frequently yell, curse, bang things on the desk, directly disrespect staff and members of our public, all without consequence or outcry by this Rule group or by other counselors. Duran's aggressive posturing with me began the very week I was elected. This is when I first noticed his quest to silence and smear me to colleagues and prevent me from holding the LPD accountable to oversight and transparency. He then lodged a discrimination and harassment complaint against me out of retaliation for asking for the release of internal affairs investigation reports. All accusations made by Duran regarding me are false and therefore should not be used to show a pattern of behavior. Evidence proves Duran's gross misconduct. He lied during his interview during the investigation. He also had a hard copy of the infamous report the very night it was leaked to the press and other people of interest. He's been trying to suppress multiple LPD officer internal affairs investigations from being released to the public using every suppression technique available. When his tactics failed, he ramped up and he used his authority and connections with other law enforcement and the public to maliciously intimidate by smearing me and claiming to be a victim, going so far as describing himself as Karen Garner. This has made my life very dangerous. This transcends politics and is way past typical HR issues. A lot of Duran's claims that I hate Christians and that I publicly said that he was a white nationalist is 100% false. It has incited hatred toward me from fellow counselors, current and former law enforcement, and a lot of nasty, vulgar, homophobic, misogynistic, violent men that want to put me in my place.
Okay, and so, Counselor Black, now your 3 minutes is up, so.
Wow, that's quite a lot to digest. If she had been that poised while at Dwayne Webster Park, she wouldn't be going through a recall that was planned out over 1.5 years ago by that small conservative group of homophobic, misogynistic, violent men who made her assault a person in the park. Crazy how they did that. A point to note, the Doran harassment case that she spoke of isn't part of the reason for the recall. It's not listed anywhere, but since it's part of her defense, we might shed some light on that discrimination case in the future. Loveland, if you're tired of stuff like this, join us in recalling Council Member Erin Black, and let's find someone who will help bring sanity back to our City Council.